Meanwhile, in an alternate universe where cis people are in our shoes for once. By the way, this is just silly goofs and gaffs and jokes, alright? So if you don't really want to be down for that, that's fine. Just skip along. We're still coming out with our normal stuff on our normal schedule. It's all vibes. Bye.
Hello everyone and welcome to What the Cis.
What the Cis?
This is the news podcast made for cis people by cis people because despite being just 1% of the population, if we don't do it, no one will.
So how's everyone been doing lately?
I've been so chill. It's been a very good time. My friend actually recently came out to me as cis, so I'm super proud of him. As a little coming out gift, I bought him his first 5-in-1 body wash and a membership to Wetherspoons.
Fantastic. My supportive aunt recently gifted my lovely girlfriend her first crushed velvet Live, Laugh, Love pillow and a Stanley cup.
A whole ass Stanley cup.
Whole Stanley cup.
That's awesome. That's a real one right there. It's so nice to see that unfettered support for
Absolutely.
your straight relationship.
So, on to the news stories.
No, not the news. I don't want to do the news. Stop it.
Noted supervillain Ellen Mask has appeared in a press conference seemingly emotionally stable and surprisingly rational. This has caused anti-cis activists to question if she is breaking away from them. What do we think?
No. I really think Elon Musk is one of the most despicable humans to ever. I don't think that's controversial to say.
In other news, Ellen has suggested that she's going to be the first manned passenger on her next space flight, and I fully support that decision.
Yeah, go to the moon. Don't stop. Just keep going.
Keep it going.
Keep
Don't
going.
worry about the fact that 5 of them have already exploded on the landing pad. That's nothing.
That's fine. You know.
That's fine. Get on that rocket and ride it as far as it goes.
You know what I'm always saying? Why is it SpaceX? Why is it not Space XX chromosomes? That's Sorry, Amber. All right, that's enough about Elon Musk and her bid to take over the world, be the newest Bond villain. It is now time for my favorite segment, everyone. It's Loser's Corner. So, for today's Loser's Corner, we have hyper-divorced comedian that has been going off the far-right deep end, Billy No Jokes, finally wrapped up a costly court case and has been dragged out as he claims that his proceedings are actually a stick-up by organised cis activists who have been brainwashing, and this is real, brainwashing the court and society at large. No, really. He has been talking to any news outlets that he can get on his extensive press tour about how he is being silenced, while promoting his new special after scoring a $15 million deal, which is a different multi-million-dollar deal than the one for his podcast that focuses on his struggles to be heard and often has far-right pundits on it, who similarly claim to be silenced. This is all while the case about censorship rattled on. We are sure each new public appearance only strengthened the argument that he isn't allowed to speak anywhere, because that's how censorship works, folks. Well, it's all good news in the end. The court have decided to dismiss all of his claims, citing the excessive level of publicity that they actually enjoy, making him our loser of the week.
Now something fun. In gaming, there's been a campaign started online rallying against games that are considered to promote cisgenderism and being too woke. We have provided the full list for you to check them out.
Just a pre-warning, dear listeners, if you do check these games out, the wokeness may consume you. You may feel overwhelmingly the desire to become cis after playing this list of very woke games.
It's a real danger.
That are, once again, real.
So first off, we have Spider Them on PS5.
I love that game. I got the platinum on that one, actually. We have the multiplayer online game League of Genders.
And then everyone's favourite, Smash Siblings Ultimate. Fallout New Gender, my personal favourite.
It's a great game. I don't get their point, though. They have 75 different pronouns in that game, and because one of them is he, him, it's too woke.
Absolutely. It's when you pick your character, you give him male genitalia, pick he, him. pronouns.
Yeah, everyone loses their mind. Maybe I just want to be a cis guy who is in a Western setting going around shooting people in the face. Is that so much to ask? This next one, now, listen, again, I actually have to give him this point again on this one. This one is a very woke game. It's one of my personal favorites, Bold Men Gate 3. I actually love it because it's so woke. There's no character creator. Everyone in the game is a bold man, and the soundtrack is exclusively ska music. Real Big Fish were actually a massive contributor to that game.
And I have Mass Effect, the sci-fi RPG, and it's purely because at some point you can romance a female as a male character.
You know what? The next one on the list, actually same developers, so they really should just put them as a 2-for-1. You got Drag Age, RuPaul's cameo in that. How they consider that to be woke when you literally have RuPaul as the main character. She plays a dragon.
And then we have the 80s classic carried on all the way through to modern day, the Super Marion sisters.
Yeah, I mean, you can't get more cis than two sisters laying down pipe.
Stop! No.
The next one, a bit of an independent one for this one. You got Top Surgery Simulator, and the Bottom Surgery expansion pack that is actually twice as expensive as the main game and is only available in one store of the UK, and that's if it's even open.
Five Nights with Family, the Christmas edition.
Oh, the Christmas one. I bought that. You have an argument with your uncle about halfway through. I really fucked up the QuickTime event and ended up hoying the turkey across the room. Big mess. But still really fun. Very, very fun
Better
game.
than my playthrough. I caused 3 divorces.
Oh, damn. You got the divorce. Try it again. I'm sure you can get there. And finally, now, again, this one, I have to give them some credit. This game is incredibly woke. The new FIFA actually features an all-cis league. You can play the entire game with only cis men or cis women, which, don't get a lot of rapid games too often. So I think that one, we really got to hand it to FIFA on that one for being really inclusive.
So for the meet this week, we have an interview for you. An ally, Kenneth Reynard, that has been visiting and now trying to organise campaigns based on cisgender healthcare, came to sit down with us and talk about his plans. And well, what happened was quite something. Let's roll the clip and discuss.
Hi, Ken. Lovely to meet you. Would you like to tell us why you're here today?
Yes, I'm working on a campaign. I, of course, support all cisgenders, but I think that we really need to ensure that people are mature enough to undertake such a change. And this is why I support the new NHS guidelines preventing cisgender care until 60 years old. And I want to talk to your listeners about how they can secure that healthcare for themselves.
Okay, sorry. So just to clarify, Ken, you're campaigning to support this implementation?
Yeah, of course, it provides healthcare. That's what you're asking for, isn't it?
Are you aware of the critiques that many cis people have had of them and how they'll be damaging to our lives?
Well, I believe that everyone is allowed to have their opinions. But, we need to make sure that there is fair and reasonable debate on both sides. And I've seen a lot of anger online from very vocal, usually young people, and I don't think that really reflects the knowledge of experts and organisations. Your community has been offered a rational compromise. Cisphobes want you to have no healthcare. This gives you healthcare, but in a way that cisphobes are comfortable with. See? Perfect middle ground.
Okay, so you spoke about experts and organisations there. Do you mean the cis rights organisations with cis leadership that have been roundly rejecting these guidelines and organising against them for years?
Okay. I think this discussion is getting pretty divisive. I am not here to comment on the work of others that aren't affiliated with my campaign. I am here to encourage unity and peace.
I get that. So you're not uniting with any of those organisations then? Are you sure that's the best tactic for allyship? I mean, we're more than happy to put you in contact with...
Of course I am sure of my tactics, okay? I am an ally. You've been getting way too emotional in this, both of you. And I feel like I've been attacked for not being cis, even though I have been using the right names and the right pronouns for both of you, and have answered all of your questions, and frankly ridiculous grilling questions at that. I have been supporting your community even before it was fashionable. That's right, I went to Straight Pride, I've waved around the grayscale flag, I was there when the first stone was thrown at Ciswall. And now you're going to speak to me like this. Well, you should remember to keep that in your mind and treat us allies correctly, because remember, there's more of us than there is of you. And you know what? Actually, I've had enough. I'm leaving. I'm done.
Oh, Ken, don't be like that.
No.
Ken.
I've had enough. I've had enough.
Ken.
Like, you clearly only care about fighting and exclusion. And you know what? Billy's podcast, clearly the better option for me. I was respected there and I was heard out. And when I was there last week, they were much more willing to listen to me. And you know what? They even had tea and fucking biscuits.
Well, that blew up quickly.
Yeah. He didn't even drop the name of the campaign.
That's probably a good thing, to be fair.
Do you think he knows that Siswall didn't even happen in this country? It was like 30 years before he was born.
Maybe you confused it with the Cotswolds. So that was our esteemed guest, Kenneth Reynard, showing us how not to be a trans ally to cis people.
Yeah. We wish Ken all the best, and we expect the cease and desist in the post very soon.
Yes. They're in the Maldives now, apparently.
You're in the Maldives, yeah. Shell company. Listen, on to some better stuff now. It is our Cis Joy segment. I'd like to start us off. So we have Barry writing in. I recently found the name I was born with and started using it. Let's go, Barry.
Fantastic.
Amazing. I don't know what they changed it to, but I think Barry suits you better.
We've got Bethany from Scotland who's written in, and she said, I've got my letter that she does not need HRT.
And finally, we have Darren from Ipswich. I finally gained the confidence to dress in the way that makes me feel more cis-joy. So I'm wearing nothing but football shirts and Stone Island jackets. Darren, we love you. We support you.
That's a snappy dress sense, Darren.
Absolutely. My Stone Island jacket, I've just got my fifth one. You know, they want to say, sun's out, guns out.
So that's everything from the What the Cis podcast. I hope you enjoyed the show. Tune in next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Not really. Obviously, this is a random bleed through from an alternate universe. Our editors came across it and went, fuck it, let's show it to the people. No cis people were harmed in the making of this skit. Cis handlers were provided by the Conservative Club to ensure the safe handling of cis men and their egos at all times. And if you want to find our actual, real, genuine, 100% trans show for trans people by trans people, then you can find us on our website, whatthetrans.com, bsky at whatthetrans.com, nice and easy for you, Insta/guess it again, whatthetrans, yep, and at our Patreon if you want to put a penny into the pot. Brilliant. Thank you very much. And that is also What the Trans. This April Fool's special was produced and presented by Flint, Dan and Owen. Written by Flint and co-written with Owen, McKnight and Danny Calavera. Sound engineer mixing desk type thing while we were recording done by Maddie Stone. Thank you, Maddie! Script supervision by Flint, Alex and Ashley. Edited by Amber Devereaux. And with our opening theme music composed by Waritsara Yui Kohlberg. Thumbnail by Oboa Pierce, and transcription performed by Sam Wyman, Rowan B., Rachel Aldred, Georgia Griffiths, Becky, and our Patreons, who we would love to list off, but that's going to be longer than the bit that we've just done, so I'm just going to leave it at make sure to water your pets, neuter your plants, and continue to live your life in the way that's going to make fascists see the most. Bye!
Bye. Thanks for having us.